Good evening. This is the Community Redevelopment Agency regular meeting. It's Tuesday, February 12th, 2019 at 5:30 p.m. City Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Chair Llewellyn.
Here.
Vice Chair Udman.
Here.
Board Member Brandemart.
Here.
Board Member Harris.
Here.
Board Member James.
Here.
CRA Director Williams.
Here.
City Attorney Ansbro. Here. Thank you.
Here. There it is.
Commissioner Brandemarty, or Board Member Brandemarty, did you push your button? No. Oh, okay.
Oh, just to say here.
Okay. Do we have any citizen comments? Nothing? Okay. Our next item on the agenda is administrative reports.
For our art and seafood celebration update, I just want to highlight 2 new items. We have secured event cancellation insurance based on the circumstances of last year's event. And we have coverage for adverse weather, windstorm, and terrorism risk in the amount of $130,000 for each of those categories. And that was a cost of roughly $2,700. In addition, what you'll see as a new element to this report is the vendor application for our food trucks, our food carts, and anyone who wants a 10 by 10 space to serve food. So if you know anyone who might be interested, please let them know. The deadline is February 20th. This is also posted online on the Arts and Seafood website, and we have copies available at the front table outside.
Raquel, just a quick question. Is that just strictly for food trucks, or is that for anything? Is that art or anything else?
Anything food related.
Food related.
The application for artists, that is already online as well, and they can go online and submit their application. We so far have 47 artists signed up. We usually get many artists that come in last minute because they're watching the weather too. Last year we had 78 artists, so we're on track to get to 78 and potentially beyond that. For the general administrative report, we recently had a follow-up meeting with Colliers International relating to our city center redevelopment project. I will be working with the assistant city manager to schedule one-on-one meetings with you to discuss the RFP that has been drafted. So we'd like to talk to each of you and have your input on the RFP before it goes out. The other new element here is that I've attached the sign-in sheets for the homebuyer workshop so you can see what the attendance has been like. We have 5 classes left, and so far we have 7 attendees that have completed all 3 sessions, and so we anticipate that we'll have more completions, especially by the end of this week. Thank you.
Next item is presentations. The first one is the rebranding advertising campaign concepts by Mad for Marketing.
I'd like to call up Chris Madsen, owner of Mad for Marketing, our rebranding advertising firm. We've been working with them for a few weeks now on some advertising concepts, and I would like for them to share those concepts with you to get some feedback, get your thoughts, so that we can tweak it as needed and move forward with our rebranding campaign.
Thank you so much, Raquel. And it's been a pleasure to work with everyone here at the City of Dania Beach. We're looking forward to tonight. I am actually just here to thank you and to introduce my team, our Senior Art Director, Ann Grigsby, and Senior Account Strategist, Laura Pearson, who are going to present the new look for your review. So, Laura, who's coming up? Ann?
Thank you. I just wanted to give a little bit of background about the process, to get to this point, and then Ann is going to get into the details of the campaign itself, and we'll go through several different iterations of ads and layouts that we've come up with. So we started with doing a lot of research. We met with Raquel and her team and really talked about what it is that we're trying to do with this branding campaign, bringing visitors in for the beaches, for shopping, for dining, to possibly bring their businesses here. A lot of conversations, a lot of research, a lot of discussions. Got our creative director involved and came up with some nice concepts. We presented several concepts to the group and then kind of narrowed down to what we feel like is going to be the best campaign to bring in the traffic that we're trying to bring in. So we have a lot of rationale behind the ads that we're going to show you tonight, and I'm going to have Ann come up and tell you about them. Also, we have printouts of all of these for you guys that we're going to give each one of you a booklet so that you can follow along as well. Sorry, Ann. That's all right.
Okay, good evening. For those of you behind me, what you're seeing up there is exactly what we have on the board, so you're not missing anything. Tonight we're going to be, as Laura mentioned, we're going to be sharing the advertising concepts. And what you're going to be looking at is how our concept would be executed across various media, so you can really see how the concept and the campaign would come together to promote Dania Beach in print advertising, in digital online advertising, and even out of home with billboards and bus side advertising. So these are just sort of a tip of the iceberg. As we move forward with the campaign, we'll present a very detailed media plan, but we wanted to just show you how this concept can be adapted across various media. And we've kept a number of things, sort of key ideas top of mind as we've been through this development process. Really, we wanted to build on the rich history that's here in Dania Beach and create excitement for what's new and for what's still to come. But we also wanted to take the new brand and really humanize Dania Beach, really showing people of all ages, ethnicities, families, couples, friends, having a good time in a variety of activities, different places, different settings, and really reflecting all that Dania Beach has to offer. So the campaign has what we call in the marketing world legs. And what we mean by that is that it can be adapted and added to as a campaign develops to reflect different seasons, different special activities and events that happen in the community. And it can even move from attracting visitors both near and far, as well as reaching out to businesses that are here to continue to develop business as well as hopefully attracting new business. So we can go B2B as well as B2C. So what we've landed on is a campaign that are fun and catchy with just a play on words, showcasing the activities and sharing the excitement of Dania Beach by juxtaposing all of the great ways that we can enjoy Dania Beach. So from the pier to the casino, from boating and shopping, the campaign invites viewers to rediscover what they already know about Dania Beach, as well as to discover something new. So as we go through, come for the pier, stay for the cheer.
Do you want to read the...
Yep, and I'll read the body copy. Dania Beach is a place where you'll find people who are genuinely happy you're here and delighted to share all of our wonderful things to see and do. From our newly restored beaches, famous fishing pier, and new shopping malls to hotels, fun restaurants, outstanding casino gambling, and first-rate entertainment. Easy to get to, easy to park, easy to love. Rediscover Dania Beach. So the headlines will rotate along with the imagery. Come for the sand, stay for the band. You'll notice that the curved graphic in the photos all mirror the D in the Dania Beach logo, really bringing that visual to life and making sure that that is something that people easily recognize. And then the Rediscover Dania Beach really pulls across that color line, again, right back to the logo, giving your visual identity a strong placement. So come for the sea life, stay for the nightlife. Come for the sun, stay for the fun. Come for a visit, stay for the lifetime. Stay for a lifetime. And also, we've pulled below your logo, we've pulled your tagline, see it, live it, love it, out a little bit so it can be a little bigger and a little bolder under the logo. And it's not, the Rediscover Dania Beach is by no means a replacement for that. We definitely want to keep your tagline as is and continue to use it and develop it. Rediscover Dania Beach would really just be for this campaign. So this is very similar in its copy. Actually, it's identical in its copy, but it's a slightly different visual execution in that you'll actually see the different photos of the activities. So again, come for the pier, stay for the cheer. Come for the boating, stay for the boutiques. Come for the sand, stay for the band. Come for the sea life, stay for the nightlife. Come for the savory bites, stay for the romantic nights. Come for a visit, stay for a lifetime. And then we've moved on. These are examples of digital online banners. So these would actually, you would see one frame at a time and they would rotate, just as anytime you're on your internet browsing, you see those advertisements that rotate. So again, you would see come for the boating, stay for the boutiques, rediscover Dania Beach. Come for the pier, stay for the cheer. Come for the sea life, stay for the nightlife. And then we have a couple of executions of billboards. So again, you can just see how simple and clean this can be. If you're out on I-95 or on the highway, you'll start to see a great visual for keying people in, whether you're commuting in traffic to and from work or here on vacation, you would definitely be drawn to Dania Beach.
And one of the billboards we're looking at is the exit off the airport. One of the billboards that we're looking at. We've also been working on a media plan very diligently, and we've got a first draft of that, so we're going to be reviewing that with Raquel and then trying to fine-tune a little bit. But one of the things that we're looking at for billboards is the exit ramp off of the airport.
So again, we have the beach and we have the casino. Again, all of these concepts could be played out in billboards. Just wanted to share with you how this concept, again, fits in many different activities, lifestyles, different audiences to really pull all of the target audiences. And then also as far as bus wraps, so having it on the transit, advertising, see it, live it, love it, Dania Beach. Rediscover Dania Beach. So those would be on the side of buses. Do we have any questions?
Vice Chair Odman?
I think these are fantastic. I really think they're gorgeous. I love the little play on words. I love the layout of everything. You know, the way you have the pictures, then the color scheme works really, really nicely with the logo. I love come for the pier, stay for the cheer. All of it, I think, is wonderful. My only commentary is that first sentence of the copy. I've read it 10 times over, and I can't. I don't. Is it a subject or like a predicate subject disagreement, or is there there's something about it? I've read it 10 times, and it reads awkward to me.
Okay, and we can definitely take a look at that. It's Dania Beach is a place where you'll find people who are genuinely happy you're here and delighted to share all of our wonderful things to see and do.
Maybe because it goes from people to our.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
exactly, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so as I say,
Yeah.
actually, the sentence has sort of been molded from a couple of different campaigns.
Okay.
So yeah, we can definitely
Okay,
revisit that as well.
But everything else is really,
thank
it's fantastic, and I think you did a wonderful job.
Great, thank you. One additional note, just as far as photography. Right now, a lot of what we've pulled is what we call royalty-free stock photography, but I know we're working with Raquel and her team on photos that you might actually already own, so we can really pull in the genuine thing when we can.
Yeah, we
So-
use the pier, we use Jackson's. We have a couple of photos that are actual Dania Beach photos, but it's real important, especially when you get as big as a bus or a billboard, that the quality be super, super good.
Yeah.
And we want that whole lifestyle, to come across. So these stock photos are an option in case there isn't a budget for photography or we aren't able to, find the actual photos. But it's something that we are exploring is actual photos of Dania Beach.
Board Member James?
Yes, I have the same things to say. I echo those sentiments that Vice Chair Odman stated. My only question would be if we were choosing a time to advertise on various sites and we have an event coming up, or could we maybe place some of that information on there so that we can like kill two birds with one stone and to draw more people to our events, like we have our seafood celebration coming up, or if it was Day After Dark or the motorcycle, whatever it is.
Right.
If it goes with what we are doing, is it some type of other contact information that we are really drawing someone into a specific event?
Yeah, we are looking at the events as we're building the media plan, and we're looking at the channels of advertising that make sense for those particular events. We're planning to do a lot of digital because it's very cost effective and you can reach quite a big audience. We can target very well. We can even target people that visit places like Gulfstream Park or Meisner Park or Los Olas Boulevard, places like that, to try to draw those people in, because that's, those are the people that you want to come here and experience what you have as well. So looking at things like the Arts and Seafood Celebration, depending on, like right before the event, we're really trying to drive a lot of traffic. We might advertise in Showtime, Sun Sentinel, Showtime, and say this event is coming up, or in the Gold Coast Insider Edition that tells everybody what's happening this weekend and things like that. The branding itself will be adapted for those events. We would have all the information about the event, but keeping the kind of same look and feel, the same color scheme, wherever we can keep that curve in there, things like that. So the elements of this branding campaign would be able to easily be brought in for event promotions.
I just have one comment. It looks fantastic. Everything looks really good. I do feel like, though, the only place that we really see the See It, Live It, Love It logo is on the buses. I know that you've made it a little bit bigger in some of the other items, but I feel like it needs to be a little more prominent. And I'm not quite sure how you would do that. You're the experts in this, but it doesn't, that's a big thing that I've noticed people are really catching on with, is that slogan. And I'd like to see it maybe more prominent in some of the other places as well.
Okay, that can be done.
Okay, so we'll have, I'm sorry, were there any other comments? So we'll have Matt from marketing go back and take these comments and tweak, and then we'll bring something back to you, probably via email, and then get any additional feedback that you may have. You may think of something between now and then, so thank you.
Okay. That's fine. Thank you very much.
We'll leave these boards with you, and I'll take them down right now. You can
Our next presentation is Rebuilding Together Broward County, Inc. from Mr. Robin Martin, Executive Director.
CRA Board, thank you very much, Director. First off, I'd like to apologize for coughing. I'm getting over the flu, tail end of that. In terms of the presentation and video, is it queued up? How the order before I go
The
in?
video is queued, but the presentation was provided in the backup materials.
There you go. Okay, great. So then I think I'll present for just a few moments and then do the video and then any questions. Does that sound like a good order? Thank you so much. Again, my name is Robin Martin. I'm the Executive Director of Rebuilding Together Broward County. We are very grateful for this opportunity to be before the CRA Board. We're a national organization, over 50 years, with 150 affiliates across the U.S. We are the Broward County-based nonprofit, and we've been around for 15 years. Our mission is repairing homes, revitalizing communities, rebuilding lives. Annually, we work on over 150 homes throughout Broward County, and we've had the pleasure of working in Dania Beach many years. I think we've worked on a total of over 30 homes. Most recently, over the last year and a half, we've had 2 large project days, where one day we worked on 7 homes and a couple American Legion buildings, and many of you were there, and Commissioner James was there as well and spoke. We also had the opportunity to work on another day with the United Way, and we worked on 4 homes. Everything that we do falls into 2 buckets, where we do interior work for senior citizens who who are low-income homeowners, veterans, people with disabilities, and we're helping to improve their home so that it is a safe place and a healthy place to live. The other side of what we do is exterior community revitalization projects, where all of the homes have minor repair, landscaping, paint, anything to improve not just that person, but the entire neighborhood. The proposal that you have before you is for $80,000, and over the course of the next year, we will work on 45 homes throughout the CRA Oasis communities with a minimum of one, what we call a block rebuild, that we're looking to schedule in May, where we have close to 300 volunteers. We work on one, if not two, community streets. All of these homeowners would be identified in partnership with the CRA and in the communities that you're already doing a good work in. Those days will be the good part of what we do is we're able to leverage anything that the CRA provides with community volunteers, with other companies such as Home Depot, people who bring food. And during those days, we have almost a block party, but it's one with a purpose, where we shut down a block, we paint and landscape. We generally say between 5 and 10 homes. It always depends upon the street. And by the end of the day, you have a block that's been revitalized. So our plan is to work with the CRA throughout the year to identify people throughout each of the communities to ensure that we can paint, landscape 45 homes with a minimum of one, if not two, of those block rebuilds. For an example, we have a short video. Is it ready to play? A short video of one of the days that we did in Pompano.
Today's a great day. It is the launch of Love South Florida Block Rebuild. We have over 150 volunteers.
We are revitalizing 6 homes in the neighborhood here. So this morning we had 3 truckloads come out and deliver mulch, paint, whatnot, everything we need for the day.
We've got churches from across Pompano and across the city coming together to literally love South Florida and love this block.
Projects like these are really good for the community. It boosts morale, so individuals take ownership of their community.
I've had a chance to actually talk to a couple people from the community so far, and they just are thankful. There was a guy that came by just a minute ago on a bike, and he was like, man, this is a beautiful thing.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, I got on my knees this morning and I pray, and when I look out there, everybody's out here. I tell you, I am blessed, and that's one thing that God sent to me right there.
I hope that that gives you a little bit of a flavor of what we're able to do in a community. But our plan is to go above and beyond those 2 days and to work with smaller groups where we take 1 and 2 homes. Each of the homes will receive close to $5,000, if not $7,000 worth of exterior, because we're able to leverage it with volunteers and other materials and things like that. So thank you so much for this opportunity and for accepting the proposal. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Board Member Harris?
Rob, are you familiar with the new program in Broward called Broward UP? Broward Up? Lori, Greg Hale talked about that at the League of Cities, Broward UP. It's unlimited potential. Are you familiar with that program yet?
I am not.
Okay.
And we work pretty closely with Broward County.
It was
They
Greg
fund
Hale,
us.
the new president of Broward College. That's right, thank you. But we'll look into that because maybe we can combine the two somehow, some kind of way. Thanks.
Any other comments, questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Next is the consent agenda. Does anybody have anything to pull?
5.2.
Anything else? Okay. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda, with the exception of 5.2.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. 5.2?
I don't think you need to read it. Can I just?
I don't think we have to read it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I pulled this request because I was asking about the Safe Street Travels Summit, and it has come to my understanding. I know that some of the staff lives very far from the place where this is going to be held, and I wanted to know. I'm not sure of I know the travel policy for the commission was changed to include the Tri-City area, especially when you have to be somewhere really early in the morning and there is a long commute. I don't think that the same goes for the CRA, so I wouldn't want to do this for the entire city because we wouldn't know where people are traveling. We have a lot of employees. However, I would like to have maybe look into having a different travel policy for just the CRA that is then managed by at the discretion of the executive director. And the reason why I'm saying this because I know DeAndre lives in West Palm Beach or somewhere, just very far from here, and the conference starts early in the morning. To expect him to be able to drive from West Palm all the way down in Miami, I think it's unreasonable. I think he should be able to stay in the hotel the night before.
These do include hotel, though, don't they? This does include the hotel, doesn't it? This item?
Yes, but it's not typically in the travel policy to include the Tri-City area. It is for the commission, but not people that are traveling, for the CRA board. And I did ask Raquel. She's not taking advantage of the hotel because she stays in Miami, so she stays closer. But for those who, it's unreasonable to have to come to us to ask us for this.
Well, my only comment on that, I mean, this was obviously a situation where we're willing to approve this, and he's able to stay down there based on this situation. So I think it could be addressed on a case-by-case basis. I don't know that it needs to be a complete policy that's set for the CRA. I mean, I don't know. Vice Chair Obman?
Now that I understand what you're talking about, sorry it took me a minute. Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. I mean, for the commission, for us to drive to somewhere in far West Palm or deep in Miami, I know that would be a burden. So it seems reasonable that at the discretion of the director, they should be able to.
I just know that all the policies that go for the commission and the employees don't necessarily fit for the CRA, as they are a unique group and they do way different things. They're a much smaller entity than our city and our employees, and I would like to look into it. So that's why I pulled this item.
Can I suggest that we discuss this at the time of budget discussion so that we can deal with it for next year, and for the time being, just do it on a case-by-case basis?
Yeah, we can come up with a travel policy. We don't have to implement, any funding or anything like that, or any allowance to the next budget. But I think that a lot of our policies and the way that we operate, a lot of it's very antiquated and it's just old and outdated, and we need to move on with the times. And it's not a large amount of employees that Raquel is managing. I think it's 4, and so. Outside of the patch, I mean, just the people that are staff that really travel and things like that. And so I do think, I'm not sure if Nikki is the one that helps write the travel policies with our staff, or however that goes. But is that something, Raquel, that you would be comfortable with? I didn't even ask you.
Well, The CRA has essentially been utilizing the same travel policy as the city of Dania Beach. However, we could sit with Nikki to discuss any modifications that might be proposed to the CRA board for this purpose. It could be something where we say if it's past a certain number of miles away, maybe we have the ability to have lodging in the Tri-County area if it meets a certain requirement. So that's definitely something that I could go back and sit with city staff to discuss how we can modify it and then bring it back to you.
Okay,
That's fine.
thank you. So I make a motion to approve 5.2. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it was?
I can't see.
It's
your
not
mic.
lit on mine.
Why?
I don't know. It's not coming up
It's
here.
this, right?
No, that's your microphone.
Oh.
They switched it on us.
What's the light for?
That's to speak.
I did, it's lit.
No.
Not on mine.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Board Member Brennan.
Talking about outdated policies, let's talk about that for a second. There's a list on per diem, right? Which never covers any meal. I don't care what it is. Like, say, for instance, when we go to the Florida League of Cities and we're in Orlando, this list is made up. Is it something that's done by a state or something? I don't understand. Who makes the travel policy? Tom? Can you, because I have it at home, but I don't remember who it was.
Nikki could probably answer, but I think it's based on IRS regulations.
IRS regulations,
Yes.
right? They're the ones that ought to change. Because I'd like to see them go to Orlando, stay in a hotel, and use what we get up here for per diem anywhere for a breakfast, when breakfasts are so expensive in any hotel.
Well,
I don't care where you're at. You have to supplement it.
I agree.
So, I knew it was set by somebody. I knew it was.
But my question is it, I know it's IRS regulated, but is that the minimum? Could we change it?
That's exactly what I'm getting at, even though it has nothing to do with this. But I want you to know that I agree 100% with Raquel. I think that if she makes up a plan where it's based on miles, because let me tell you something, I got to drive 4.5 hours, and that gentleman don't drive 4.5 hours, just to go to Orlando. And it was hell getting them to approve me going the night before when the first meeting was at 8 a.m. in the morning. I mean, come on. You know what I mean?
Recently?
Yeah, to Orlando. We went the night before, though. The commission passed it so that we could get there, and then stay overnight and then go to the very first class that they had in the morning. So, but I agree with her that based on
Yes.
on a mileage thing, I think that's reasonable. And he gets money for gas or whoever it is, right? They get per diem too?
Anyone who travels gets per diem, yes.
Yeah, they get the per diem. That per diem stinks. Well, you better go out and get another job so you could pay for your meals.
Okay.
I agree with the way that the director
Yes,
wants to
yes.
do it.
Yes, and obviously she'll be the head of however the policy should be written, and we'll
Right.
see it. So I make a motion to pass 5.2.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Next item is proposals and bids. We don't have any today, correct? And discussion and possible action. We have a resolution. Resolution number 2019-CRA-003, a resolution, do I have to read that, or do you read it?
I can read it.
You read it, go ahead.
Resolution of the Board of Directors of the CRA of the City of Dania Beach, Florida, authorizing execution of a development agreement and special warranty deed with Miami-Dade Affordable Housing Foundation, Inc., doing business as Affordable Housing Development Solutions, a Florida not-for-profit corporation, to provide for the development of single-family affordable housing in connection with the at-home Dania Beach residential revitalization program, providing for conflicts, further providing for an effective date.
Good.
So if you recall, at our last CRA board meeting on January 22nd, this proposal was also included as a discussion item, and the direction that the that the CRA received was to go out and advertise again, which the CRA did complete in 3 publications. And since that time, the CRA also received some new information from Broward County identifying funding for our program or for our home buyers, upwards of $40,000 to stack on top of the down payment assistance that we will be providing through our first-time homebuyer program. As a result of that new information, this discussion item is being presented in this agenda because there may be an opportunity for the residents of the city of Dania Beach to access the funding from Broward County, and there may be a decision to move forward with this proposal based on the new information that came forward. So tonight, in the discussion, if you desire to move forward with this proposal, the CRA, through legal counsel, has prepared several legal instruments that we think would be best suited if we were to go through with the development proposal.
Anybody have any questions or comments? Board Member James, please.
I don't have any questions. I did receive that email from Broward County, and I think that having access to county funds for our residents is vitally important, and I was in support of it last time, so I'm definitely in support of it, especially if it's going to give $40,000 to each home buyer within our program. I think is very important, and I don't think that this is the type of thing you sit on. I think we have a qualified person, and so I'm on board.
Board Member Harris?
Agreed, because at the Housing Task Force 3 weeks ago now, and then plus the meeting with Bertha Henry the other day at the Broward League of Cities, there's many funding mechanisms that are immediately available due to the fact that some of the CRAs in other cities, the funded CRAs, are sunsetting. So the money that goes into those funds, and it's in the 42 millions that will go into the Affordable Housing Trust Fund with the county, not to mention the Sadowski Trust Fund that's with the state, which the governor said he's not raiding this time. So there's funding sources available, like multiple funding sources available, that we could move forward with the program. And I think the faster that we do it, the more advantageous it is for our cause.
Vice Chair Odman?
I was going to make a motion, but I saw that you pressed your light to discuss.
I didn't push my light, but I do have something to
Okay,
add.
go ahead first then.
I have a couple of questions. First of all, is there a time limit on receiving those funds?
So Broward County has indicated that they will not set aside the funds, meaning they won't designate a certain pot of money specifically for Dania Beach. What they have said is that we can access those funds on a first-come, first-served basis. What I've been told by county staff is that these funds typically run out in a matter of months, and we could be looking at, if we do not move forward with a development proposal soon, we may not meet the time frame in which they will still have funds.
How long have we had the latest notice out? Has it been 30 days?
So the second set of notices went out on January 26th and February 1st.
So it's only been a couple of weeks.
Correct, since January 26th and February 1st.
One of the concerns that I have is that, again, this is only one proposal that has come in. I have spoken to a few people in the community that have done this type of work, and a lot of them hadn't even seen the notice. I'm also concerned about the fact that the way that we've raised it in the meetings is as an RFP, and it's actually being presented in publications as a public notice. So I'm wondering if some of that might be some of the confusion as well. I understand the time issues here and wanting to move forward with this quickly, but I'm also concerned about the fact that I don't want to end up in a situation where we have somebody who has underbid at this point from what we've seen. It looks like an underbid, and ends up doing the work, and we don't have quality properties for the people that are going to move into them. We want people to stay there at least 10 years, preferably longer, and I don't want to have a situation where the properties aren't the type of quality that you would expect for that. So what I'm wondering is, well, first of all, the company that did make the proposal, are they a not-for-profit or are they a profit-based company?
They are a not-for-profit. And just to clarify on the RFP, the CRA board at the December 11th meeting adopted resolution 2018 CRA-023 doing a public notice of disposition. So it has not been articulated as an RFP, but a public notice, and it is a nonprofit.
Okay. Well, I'm not talking about December 11th. I'm talking about since then we've had several discussions, and I know it's been referenced as an RFP because that's actually how it's been even related to me when people have called me about it as an RFP, that they haven't been able to locate it as an RFP. Let's see. I'm not sure who went first. Go ahead. Board Member James?
Yes. When it comes down, and I'm only going to speak on Dakota because I've seen their work. They've done, I'm not sure if you all are aware, they do a number of services for us as a city here, and they've been working with this city for many years. And so to question the integrity and the quality of what they put out, I just want to go on record saying that is not me. I'm very confident in many of the homes that this proposer has done in our areas, on all areas of the city, not just the CRA. This is a business that is right here in Dania Beach, that is right here on Federal Highway in our CRA district. And I just think that he has quality. It's not going to be Bell Harbor type of homes for affordable housing, what we are trying to achieve, but to have sustainable homes that can withstand storms, that we can be proud of in our CRA. I definitely have the utmost confidence that Dakota can thoroughly meet our expectations and our needs of this housing program.
Board Member Harris? Your button's lit.
It's still on for the last night.
Okay. Board Member Brandon Marty?
So the length of time that it was put back out there, right? We still didn't get any developer at all interested in this hot, growing Dania Beach. Was it really advertised properly? Or was it just advertised as something that wasn't clear to builders? Because our land is supposed to be going so wonderful. Like, look what we got going for us, all of this. Just taking one person's bid on it reminds me of something else with one person here. So, are you all right? Oh, all right, the water came in. I just don't understand it. How long has it been out there? How long in days? It's on a month, right?
From the second publications?
To February 2nd.
So the January 26th, it went out in the Sun Sentinel, so January 26th until now, February 12th, and February 1st until now in the Dania Press and the Miami Herald. And we did get some calls about it, and when asking the developers, certain questions, I would say that some of them did not proceed with submitting a proposal. One in particular asked, would they have to submit their financial statements? And I said yes, and they said that they would not want to propose. So, there are different factors that may make a developer want to come forward or not want to come forward. Some developers would like the CRA to cover the permit fees and impact fees, which is not something that we have proposed to do through our budget. and that would actually impact our bottom line. So when told, no, the CRA is not covering those things, some developers don't want to come forward with a proposal. So there are a lot of things that impact the decision-making for a proposer.
Personally, I would be more comfortable if we waited just until the next meeting, which would be exactly 30 days from the time that the Sun Sentinel notice went out. It's still within the same month. It's only a couple of weeks away. I don't know that that would be an issue if we waited 2 weeks. Board Member Harris?
Commissioner James stated her point that, we know Dakota, they're local, they're ready. They know the permit process. They know how to do business in our city, and they were successful in that regard. I think based on our conversations with affordable housing and with Bertha Henry, that this program is like hot to go right now. And if we have a local vendor that knows our standards and we can keep them to our standards, and community development can help enforce the standards, that I think we should take the bid that we have on the table and proceed with the program. Because if we wait another 30 days, we don't know if anybody is going to come forward. And if we have a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. So I'm comfortable with Dakota and with the city enforcement that we have with permitting and all that, that they can green-light the program.
Vice Chair?
I feel the same way as the other commissioners. I was in favor of going forward with this, I think, at the last meeting. I don't see any point in waiting, and I don't know. If we don't have any more discussion, I'd like to.
Oh. No discussion, sorry. I don't have any discussion, sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. I'd like to make a motion to move the item.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Board Member Brandemart,
No.
Board Member Harris,
Yes.
Board Member James,
Yes.
Vice Chair Odman,
Yes.
Chair Llewellyn.
No.
Motion carries 3-2.
Any board member comments? Board Member James?
Yes. Sorry, I have to pull up my notes. I do have comments. I'm not sure if it's more appropriate for this meeting or next meeting, but I'm definitely going to discuss different options at both times. As we know, Super Bowl just came and went in Atlanta, and we have to start preparing for Super Bowl 2020. That's going to be local here. The first...
Actually, if I may interrupt you, I have an item on the agenda for the next meeting on this very issue.
That's fine.
Okay.
The first issue that I'm going to want to discuss is the holiday decorations that are
Still up.
They're still up.
Two.
That are, that don't that it just doesn't represent our brand and where we're going. I mean, there might have been, if they're just scattered here and there, no continuity. It's just, it's not inviting. The Christmas tree was half lit because it was halfway, the lights were inside, no ornaments. Just think that we can do a much better job at really making Dania Beach pop. During that time, I'm sure during budget we can come up with some different ideas and a budget to really make this place, pop. By that time, we're going to have a lot more development, a lot more excitement here, and we definitely want to look at that. That was number one. Number two, I know that we had. Maybe a year or two ago, I asked that we have a bike sharing program. I know we used to have one a while ago, but again, not just for Super Bowl 2020, but to implement our brand. And we're doing revitalization down at the beach and in various places within our CRA. We have a lot of different companies that are willing to come and put it needs to be strategically located in different places. I think that would get people out of their cars and on bikes and really riding through our city. And Bryan Road looks amazing with the bike lanes and all of the improvements that's going on. I like for us to try to engage in some type of a bike sharing program. I'm sure, Mark, you may know of plenty. I know you're a biker. That we can talk about that. I asked Raquel to set up a tour with Director and us. How many of you have been to Director? Have you been? No one? After going on the business luncheon, and I had never been in the AMO building, in the Starlight building, I think it's called. That was an amazing experience, but understanding that we have a lot of different places that are here in our marine industry, and we are very huge in the marine industry here. There's a lot of jobs that they don't have people and young people who are qualified and trained on these jobs, welding and painting and all these things that they need, that they supply and employ a lot of. They could supply and employ a lot of people. Director brings us a lot of money every year. It is a place that's huge. They house big yachts and they maintenance them and paint them. And I think that working with our CRA director in an apprenticeship, that we can help pipeline kids from high school to the apprenticeship to having these quality jobs that are readily available, but our kids are not qualified. We're raising people and they're going through our school systems, and everyone isn't going to go to college. And so I would like for those of us that want to go on a tour, to really tour that facility. I think you all will be amazed. I've been there a couple of times, and I don't know what this phrase means. A bird in the hand is worth more than two in the bush. Maybe I'm too young, but I don't even know if it goes with what I'm saying. But definitely, we definitely need to look at that. Dania After Dark was amazing. The Black History presentations inside for Art and Hall were amazing. The art that's around is amazing. You've done a great job, and I hope that we continue with that. And the last thing I want to talk about is City Hall colors, because of, excuse me, of the options that we have. We all know that they don't go with the library and the parking garage, or really, it's not going to look good with our brand. And I want to have something that kind of flows all together, versus just having a big white building, with everything else that's around. So I would like whoever's in charge of that, is that Brad? Or someone to come back with some colors that actually, make sense, because the colors don't necessarily make sense. So I know they're doing the repairs currently, but in attending the meeting with Colliers and talking about the city center and all the things that's going to happen, it's not like it's going to happen in the next 6 months. So if we're going to paint the building and put a beautiful sign that's a logo on it, I just want it to look good. And happy Valentine's Day, and that's it for me.
Any other commissioner comments? Commissioner Harris?
Sorry,
Board Member Harris. Wrong
Wait, before you do, one more thing. I want to know, sorry, I attended the meeting for the city center, and I wasn't really thrilled about the names that they came up with. I wanted you all, maybe if you could think of something of what you would like it to be called, if it's catchy or nice or marketable. I haven't really come up with anything yet, but some of the ideas are make us sound very old and like just boring. I want something fun and exciting, and where we're going as a brand to really match the our project.
Go ahead. When we were at the county last week, and this is in regards to affordable housing, I just want to read something that we came up with as an objective. to assist the private sector in providing an appropriate mix of housing types as defined in Broward County's housing inventory, and to apply innovative planning design techniques in both housing structures and land development, and to conserve and preserve systems and resources. The county will require through the DRC process and approval an appropriate mix of very, very low and low to moderate income housing and workforce housing. And the caveat that we have on top of that is, according to Commissioner Nan Rich at the county level, Broward County is currently 100,000 units short of affordable and workforce housing. So we'll be doing our part here to get started with the workforce and the affordable housing. And we could only be like Pembroke Pines, as Mayor Frank Ortis said, that they have built 1,846 housing units in the last couple of years through grant money and through the county. So we could only hope to be as good as them with adding or subtracting from the 100,000 that we're short for the county. So I mean, the more information I get, that we get, the more options that there are available. So I think it's a worthwhile program. I really do. That's all. On Dania After Dark was a huge success.
Very
good
big.
time.
It was a lot of fun. Any other board member comments? Okay. No information items tonight? Okay. We're adjourned then.
Do we get a list of the promotions within